Hello and welcome to LSJ Weekly. I'm Samantha Ramsbottom.
And I'm Michael Hazle. Our top stories this afternoon.
An incident of hate crime connected to the coronavirus has been reported to the police for the first time this week.
We'll be finding out the impact of Storm Dennis here in Lincoln.
We'll be hearing the latest on the new bespoke medical building on the University of Lincoln campus that is currently being built, plus what's been trending on social media.
All that and more coming up on LSJ Weekly.
After the effects of Storm Dennis earlier this week, Lincolnshire has been issued 3 flood warnings by the Met Office. The warnings are to show that further flooding is expected across the county and immediate action is required.
I went out earlier in the week to find out how Storm Dennis has affected Lincoln. Many parts of the UK are yet to recover from the impact of Storm Ciara, yet over this weekend the country has faced further damage from Storm Dennis. The storm is believed to be one of the worst winter storms to hit the UK in recent years, breaking a record number of Environment Agency flood warnings and alerts across the country. Red weather warnings have been issued across the county of Lincolnshire by the Met Office, warning the public of strong winds and heavy rain. As you can see behind me, Storm Dennis has left its mark here in Lincoln. Many of us are wondering what authorities are doing to prevent further damage and what action is currently being taken. Lincoln hasn't yet been issued flood warnings from the Environment Agency, but are warning the public that the water level in the River Witham may remain high for a few more days. Public footpaths have been covered in water, as well as the University of Lincoln Students' Union and the streets around Sinsel Bank have prepared for further flooding by placing sandbags outside. The Environment Agency issued a statement earlier this week concerning the aftermath of Storm Dennis. The statement said, "We expect the river to remain high throughout the next few days. Our forecasts indicate that flooding to properties isn't likely, and therefore flood warnings are not expected to be issued at this time. We are constantly monitoring river levels and have staff in the field checking for blockages and clearing weed screens." I went to Witham and Humber draining boards to speak more on their role of maintaining land drainage across Lincolnshire and protecting the miles of watercourses that flow across it.
We haven't been impacted upon as hard in Lincolnshire this time. We have had though a series of about half a dozen or more series of high rainfall events.
I think it's the realisation that if you do live within one of these floodplains, these flood areas, then you are at risk.
As the effects of Storm Dennis begin to wear off, authorities are prepared for any future flooding. Michael Hazle, LSJ Weekly.
The coronavirus may not have hit Lincolnshire, but it is still causing problems in other ways.
Hate crime as a direct result of the coronavirus has been reported to the police for the first time this week. Our reporter Elsa Adams has more on the impact in Lincoln.
In Lincoln, hate crime is an issue for some Asian students who've experienced people looking at them differently and treating them differently in public places. The xenophobic fears stem from the idea that Asian people may have travelled to China in recent weeks. No one from the Chinese student community wanted to be on camera, but the international representative for the Students' Union spoke to us to explain the situation and what was being done about it.
I had a meeting with a student from study group, and he was actually a student from Middle East, but he did mention that there were certain cases where he has noticed that people are looking at Chinese people differently. Obviously this is something that we do not want or do not accept either. So we have like a completely zero tolerance policy at the SU and at the university when it comes to xenophobia or any sort of hate crime in that case. So if there is anyone, we would like them to report it to the university and to us as well, so that we can look into this matter. And we're trying to be a bit proactive as well. We're trying to do campaigns and stuff around the sort of hate crime. We're trying to the university and us together are trying to look into how we can make hate crime reporting much easier as well. So, yeah.
There are currently 9 confirmed cases of coronavirus in the UK, with over 5,000 people tested, and the threat level has been increased by UK chief medical officers from low to moderate. British nationals stranded on the cruise ship off the shore of Japan are hoping to be flown home tomorrow, after being stranded in quarantine since the 4th of February. Here in Lincoln, the county hospital was told to make coronavirus pods to assess patients away from the main hospital wards this week to help prevent further spreading if the virus is detected here. In London, the first coronavirus hate crime was reported to police on Saturday. A Thai businessman was violently mugged with coronavirus chanted at him as the attackers filmed the incident. Also reported in York, Asian people are being targeted on social media, with York University taking action and removing any xenophobic posts on a Facebook group linked to the university. And that is our weekly roundup of the current situation with coronavirus. We will continue to follow the story over the coming weeks.
Now, if you've been walking around the University of Lincoln campus recently, you won't have been able to avoid the building site on the south side of the university.
That's because work has been underway on the new medical building designed to allow cohorts of 80 students the chance to study in a bespoke building.
So now that work is underway, our reporter Andrew Norris went to check on its progress.
Announced in March 2018, the Lincoln Medical School is to be a partnership between the universities of Lincoln and Nottingham. Now, almost 2 years on from that announcement, Lincolnshire County Council have been hearing what progress has been made towards the new building. In the Council's Health and Scrutiny Committee yesterday morning, councillors heard how the school is needed to help recruit doctors to work in the region to help reduce the shortage of NHS staff in the county.
So the medical school is being built in Lincoln to meet a need for the county, which is relatively under-doctored in terms of its health provision. We know that it's difficult for the GP practices, hospitals and other healthcare providers in the county to actually recruit doctors. So we think that bringing medical students into the county, having them see what it has to offer, giving them a great experience, means they're more likely to become doctors in Lincolnshire in the future.
Work started on the £21 million building last September, and since then we've seen the steel frame of the building go up next to the Isaac Newton building, the university's last engineering project. The layout of the 5-storey building will see a new medicine-orientated library be built on the first floor, and will provide students with modern facilities including lecture theatres, seminar rooms, laboratories and suites designed around clinical skills and anatomy. And with the climate emergency gathering steam, it's no surprise that the medical school is expected to be the most energy efficient on campus.
The sorts of things we're doing to enable that to happen is a large wall of photovoltaic cells on a sort of south-facing elevation, large numbers of solar panels on the roof, very efficient electric boiler rather than a gas or a coal or a wood chip boiler or something like that, and very sophisticated building management systems to turn off lights and switch down and power off computers when they're not being used. Those sorts of things are the things we're looking at.
When the building opens in March 2021, the University of Lincoln will be responsible for the students' curriculum from a foundation year up to halfway through their third year. At this point, the University of Nottingham is responsible for studies up to the end of fifth year and will be compliant with the General Medical Council standards. Andrew Norris, LSJ Weekly.
Police are still appealing for information following 2 offences of burglaries and theft in the Ermine area of Lincoln. On February 18th, police say a man pushed his way past the occupant of a house on Lawton Way before stealing cash and bank cards. A 47-year-old man from Lincoln has been arrested on suspicion of these offences and was later released on bail. Police would like anyone with further information to contact them.
A salon based on the Cornhill in Lincoln says it has thrown out magazines that feature negative or personal stories about celebrities. Bennett's Salon will instead be supplying magazines that promote positive messages surrounding health, beauty and well-being. The decision comes days after the news that TV personality Caroline Flack took her own life. Still to come on the show.
Nikita gives us all the latest weather updates.
Brogan finds out all about surfing on the Lincolnshire coast.
Find out why I'm learning all about balls.
Thanks, Sammy. League One side Gillingham head to the Eleniar Stadium to play Lincoln City on Saturday. The Imps, who sit at 15th, have been without a win for their last 5 matches. They have a tough game on their hands as Gillingham have won their last 3 games and currently sit 9th in the table. In non-league football, Lincoln United play Wisbech Town at home. Wisbech Town currently sit at the bottom of the Northern South East Division at 20th, with the Whites sitting at 16th. Lincoln City women also play at home this weekend against Burton Albion. The Imps are currently in 5th in the Midlands Division 1 with 21 points. Burton Albion currently at 12th with 0 points. And in hockey, Linden Hockey men's and ladies' first teams are both in action this weekend. The men's first team will travel to Brooklands on Saturday. They'll be hoping for another win after winning 6-1 against GB Colleges on Tuesday. And the ladies play at home against Ben Riding on Saturday after their game was postponed against Kendal last weekend. They, of course, will also be hoping for a win. And that's all we sport for now.
Following on from last week's theme of alternative sport in Lincolnshire, our reporter Brogan Quinn headed to the coast to find out about a community of surfers.
This is Sandylands in Lincolnshire, a popular destination for tourists and locals alike who are looking for a day out to the Lincolnshire coast. However, Sandylands is also a popular destination for surfers here in Lincolnshire.
That's right. Here on the Lincolnshire coast, you can get involved with surfing.
I've come along to find out more about the new wave of surfers who are bringing Lincolnshire back into the surfing world.
Years ago, really big community. There was a guy, Roy, that used to run a surf shop out of Skeg called Coogee, and great community then. And there was loads of people surfing, then it completely died down, and then there's been a resurgence over probably the last 5 to 10 years, and there's a lot more people in the water now.
Sandylands is one of the main hotspots for surfers here, but what makes the sport so special to people?
I could be here doing my own thing, no one messing with me. You can forget about the rest of the world, just come down and have a great time. The wildlife that you see out there, the dolphins, whales, sea lions, sea otters, not necessarily all on this coast, but wherever you're going on the planet, you'll be surprised how many bugs you'll find out there, butterflies, bees and things like that. So the whole nature aspect of it as well. And yeah, you can just forget about all your cares and just go and do it. It's just you and the sea.
With surfing being recognised in the Olympics this year, there's no doubt that you'll be hearing a lot more about the sport across the UK. So if you're looking for something new to try, why not come to the Lincolnshire coast to find out more? Brogan Quinn, LSJ Weekly.
Now on to something a little less chilly. Lincolnshire is home to the largest bowls club in England.
Our reporter Kira Best has been to find out more about the club.
If you're not interested in football, rugby, cricket or even hockey, why not try something alternative? Here at Lincoln Indoor Bowls Club, people of all ages can come down and get involved as a hobby, a competitive side or as a social aspect. The largest indoor bowls club in England now has a new £50,000 bowling floor.
The club, which was originally founded in 1972, now has 8 bowling rinks. The game is usually played in ends, with players picking up points if their ball is nearest to the jack. Bowls is not just for the older generation, with people getting involved from a young age.
I've been bowling since I was 14 years old. I took it up outdoors. I've won 1 or 2 bits in my time, and I had a bit of a profile that I think the people here who ran the place were looking for. It's run by a board of directors, all of whom are bowlers, but none of whom take anything out the club, and everything we make goes back into the club.
The club welcomes all kinds of people of all ages and is always eager for new members to join.
And one of our ladies said to me, "What do you do at the weekends?" I said, "Well, I hoik my bike on the back of the car and I go for a bike ride, stop for a pub and then I come home." "Have you thought of bowling?" "That's an old man's game." "Well, no, it isn't really." "OK, I'll come and give it. We have an open day next Sunday. Would you come along and have a try?" "OK," says I, nothing gained, nothing ventured, nothing gained. And I came in and just took to it right away. It was just magic.
Whether you're looking for a hobby or a competitive sport, bowls could be the one for you.
Kira Best, LSJ Weekly.
And now let's take a look at what's been going on social media this week on LSJ Trending with Whitney Jones and Brogan Quinn.
Hello and welcome to LSJ Trending, where we'll be giving you the rundown on what has been trending on social media this week.
All week, tributes have been pouring in on social media for TV host Caroline Flack after she passed away. Love Island co-host Ian Sterling tweeted, "Today my friend slow motion walked into heaven. I will miss her always. Thank you for everything. followed by a clip from Caroline's time on Strictly Come Dancing. Love Island After Sun presenter Laura Whitmore also paid tribute, tweeting, "I'm trying to find the words but I can't," followed by a photo of a quote saying, "You left us too early before your time, and now you'll never have the chance to fulfil all those dreams."
The 2020 Brit Awards hit our screens on Tuesday night. Comedian and presenter Jack Whitehall hosted the night and tweeted, "Favourite Brits ever, some of the best performances I've ever seen." Lewis Capaldi walked home with 2 awards, including winner of Best New Artist and Song of the Year, while Stormzy won Best Male Artist. Billie Eilish, who released her Bond song No Time to Die this week, also walked home with the award of International Female Soloist Artist.
And for the second weekend in a row, the UK was hit with yet another storm. Storm Dennis caused some disruption here in Lincolnshire, with one user taking to Twitter to tweet, "There's a sunken boat in Lincoln after Storm Dennis. Anyone knows who it is? #Lincolnshire." Another user tweeted with a video, the caption, "The River Witham in Lincoln seen in spate today after torrential rain."
What's been trending with you this week? You can join in on the conversation with us at Twitter at LSJ Tweets with the hashtag LSJ Weekly.
We'll see you again in 2 weeks' time.
So this week we've seen all kinds of crazy weather and we have Storm Dennis to thank for that.
Yep, I got soaked.
All right, Michael. Well, we've been gathering some pictures and snapshots of the weather this week. And we saw some flooding in central Lincoln after all the rain.
It hasn't been the sunniest of weeks either, with any dry spells being mostly cloudy.
But the clouds did treat us to some beautiful sunsets.
We'd love to see what the weather looks like where you are, so tag us in your pics by posting them with the hashtag LSJ Weather.
And now it's time for the weather with Nikita Sasha Manate.
Following persistent heavy rainfall from Storm Dennis over the weekend, flood warnings have been issued in and around Lincolnshire. River levels remain elevated over the next couple of days as further bands of showery rain are expected this afternoon. The weather will brighten up this afternoon with a cloudy and windy start, but mainly dry. As the rain clears around midday, we expect maximum temperatures of 10 degrees. Turning colder as we approach the evening, we can expect bursts of sunshine following by wintry showers, a cloudy and milder start to the night with expected temperatures of 0 degrees Celsius and potential for frost. There will be a dry and bright start to the day with those strong winds remaining. There will be a thicker cloud spreading across the south and east regions. Rain and drizzle as we move into the evening with maximum temperatures of 10 degrees.
And that's all for now here on LSJ Weekly. Don't forget you can keep up to date with us on social media.
You can find us on Twitter at LSJ Tweets or find us on Facebook and Instagram at LSJ News TV.
We hope you have a very good evening. Bye for now.
Thank you.